circuit theorem. So first question, why do we need to study circuit theorem? So mind this, guys, I'm not asking that why are you studying, why you are studying Thevenin's or Norton. I'm asking a very simple plain question, that why do we need to study circuit theorems in totality? So be it superposition theorem, be it Norton's maximum power transfer theorem or Thevenin's theorem, or there are some basic theorem like Millman's theorem and reciprocity theorem, but majorly I will talk about if I say superposition theorem or maximum power transfer theorem or Thevenin's theorem, why do we study at all? We already have Ohm's law, Kirchhoff's current law, Kirchhoff's voltage law. So we have three laws in our hands, and I think we know the relation between voltage, current, and we have every solving techniques at our disposal. Still we do study about theorems. Why? Maybe this topic is not for civil, guys. I think this is mainly for EC electrical and instrumentation, guys. Anybody in the session, why do we study circuit theorems? So I think I should answer this. See, just knowing the voltage current relationship and using some Kirchhoff voltage or current law is not sufficient to solve big network. So I'm talking about a very complicated network, as complicated as it can get, and there you are not be able to use these techniques all the time, because it is so time consuming. And that's where it's always good to have theorems like superposition theorem, where we are using that theorem to understand that, okay, in a particular branch what is the current, and I just want to measure this branch current. So I will do what? I'll just focus my all energy on this branch. So to do that, I will do what? I want to measure current in this branch with respect to one voltage source in the circuit. It might have multiple voltage sources. So what you do to do that? So you just kill all the other voltage source, you kill all the current source, right? And we are not going to discuss superposition theorems, so I'm not going to discuss in detail, but you kill these sources except the one which is under the lens, which is under the focus, to measure what is the current in this branch. That is exactly what we say it as superposition theorem, which is using the principle of linearity. Now coming to the important question, why do we need to study Thevenin's theorem? What is the motivation? If you see very closely on the slide, right, you will see that I'm showing a power socket with some plug to this, and then I'm saying this is a table lamp, okay. This is your iron, maybe automatic iron. This is a fan, right, table fan. So what I'm trying to say, all these devices will have some different load. When I say load, means what is the overall resistance here. If you just try to measure, it will have different, and it will have different. Just imagine a scenario that you are just trying to plug in a table lamp or a iron or a table fan, right? The moment you do that, the circuit you have to solve it again and again, because the moment you have changed the load in one part of the network, you have to recalculate everything, which is so time consuming. And that's where Thevenin's theorem comes as a savior, and it says that, why not, if I give you that, what is the equivalent voltage, right? What is the equivalent voltage you will measure here, right? And what will be your internal source equivalent resistance? And if I tell you these two, and then you have your variable load, will it be easy for you? And then wow, say, yes, that's what we needed, right? That's what we needed. That if you give me an equivalent voltage of a circuit, which we lovingly call VTH, and if you give me an equivalent resistance of the circuit, I think I don't need to look into all the details of the circuit, which might have a lot of independent sources or dependent sources, resistor, inductor. It can have any different things, right? The circuit has to be a linear two-terminal network, so it can have n number of things, and not every time you're supposed to calculate it. Make sense or not, guys? Okay. So if you look at all this discussion, then it makes a lot of sense that Thevenin's theorem can be an amazing thing for like a simple household circuit. So you just go and plug anywhere, laptop charger, your table fan, or your blah blah blah, right? And you don't need to calculate all the time what is the equivalent voltage I'm getting, because we know that that is around 220 to 240 volt. So for you, that could be your Thevenin's voltage, right? And obviously the Thevenin's resistance is very very minimal, because we don't want to consume most of our power, right, in the basic part of the internal circuit. Okay, does it make sense, guys? I think somebody is spamming our chat, so I think team, can you just look into it now, guys? Are we clear that why do we need to study Thevenin's theorem? That's what I'm trying to also jot down here, that each time the load variable is changed, the entire circuit has to be analyzed all over again, and that exactly helps you, right, with the Thevenin's theorem. Now I'll also give you another example, or motivation is that maximum power transfer theorem. Anybody in the session can tell me that what I'm trying to say when I say maximum power transfer theorem. Why I'm saying that maximum power transfer theorem can be one of the important application of Thevenin's theorem. More from the gate perspective, guys, you can answer this question. Hello? So my eyes are on the chat. Ishwar, Ranjit is asking a question. Is there any way to extend the gate vantage series by more number of concepts? I think that's a question for the team, Ranjit, and definitely you can ask. I think the team will look into your question. So guys, coming back to maximum power transfer theorem, why we say maximum power transfer theorem is going to use Thevenin's theorem like anything, right? So if you look at here, and if you look at any big circuit, then you say that okay, you have to convert into Thevenin's equivalent. So what I'm trying to say, you must have some big circuit here, a big circuit, but equivalently what happens that you're going to convert into Thevenin's equivalent, and you know that for maximum power transfer, right, for P max, we say generally that RTH, which is in this case an internal resistance, right, or you can say source resistance, must be equal to load resistance. So to do that, to come to this point, right, you are supposed to convert it into what? Thevenin's equivalent. So be it it's a RTH or RS or ZS, right? It can be impedance, it can have inductor or capacitor, resistor, any combination of these linear elements, but you are supposed to convert or transform the whole network into a Thevenin's equivalent to apply maximum power transfer theorem. That is the benefit of, another benefit of